Doc, what is TB500? I've been told it's similar to growth hormone. From what my friend says, it promotes creation of new blood and muscle cell. He also says that the front of his got shredded on it. What do you think of it?
TB 500 is thymosin 4 beta, I think something like that is another name for it, and I think this is the peptide name for it. But the thymus gland tends to uh, not function as well as we get older, and the research I think is done mainly in horses. So I don't think we have a lot of research with humans yet, as I recall. I may be wrong, but it's supposed to help actin, the formation of actin in the muscle fiber, which obviously would help. I guess to get leaner if you're repairing your muscle tissue better, and of course any endothelial factors to help. Uh, Blood flow to the muscles would be helpful. It's supposed to help with cell migration and proliferation, but I think more specifically, it's in the uh, the muscle fiber itself to create more actin. So in that way, yeah, I could see it being used for reduction of inflammation and repair of muscle. And of course, if you repair muscle, the more muscle you have, the more you're burning calories even while you're sleeping. So I could see somebody getting more lean if over time they're building more muscle. But I wouldn't think of it necessarily as a fat burner or something like that. But
Or a GH replacement or something like some.
yeah, not yeah. I mean, again, it's a different mechanism totally than the way GH or IGF-1 would work. So when you say replacement, it's definitely not working by the same mechanism.
But
Again,
I think sometimes people send us questions such as this TB500 and Keel a bit earlier before because they're trying to find out, okay, I can't afford GH or I can't take GH, or it's not accessible to me, whatever. What could I use instead? So they come up with those, roundabout, and they don't always realize Somorelin will be better or something else will be better. I mean, the guy who mentioned the MK3, you were actually kind of impressed with that one, and you got to research it more. So I think these people are just hearing about from a friend or whatever about certain peptides, and they're like, "Was this good?" And I think that's what we're dealing with
well,
here.
that's the market. I mean, that's why the market is building up for these so-called here so far mainly illegal peptides,
Mm-hmm.
because people want to either avoid the doctor,
Mm-hmm. Pay us money.
the gatekeeper, if you
Yeah.
will, or it's not legal, and they say, well, let me try a better way. Some of it's from frustration, some of it's misplaced, obviously, because again, it could be just the training technique is off, but it's also human nature. I agree to see if we can find a better way, and medicine is trying to manipulate the body in a way that we want to manipulate it. People get caught up in the natural or normal. It's natural and normal to get sick and die one day. So,
I love when you say that.
whether it's the discovery of the penicillin and how that works, or the way we use testosterone, the way we're finding out that stem cells work. I mean, the idea is to improve the quality of life, to repair the human body, and also, if we can, improve longevity as well. So these peptides are exciting. I don't know if I think what we need is the pharmaceutical companies to latch onto these and start doing some research. As I
Mm-hmm.
said, with the TB500, there isn't a whole lot of research that I found. A patient of mine asked me about that probably a year ago, and I dug into it. And again, I think the studies were mainly with horses, the best ones.
Mm-hmm.
And why people aren't pursuing that more, people being the pharmaceutical companies or some private individuals, I don't know. Maybe there's not enough money. I apologize if I can't give a more thorough answer, but the problem is, particularly from wearing the medicine hat,
Mm-hmm.
there are a lot of standards by which we come up with answers. In other words, we ethically, I can't tell you that something works, and probably more importantly, it doesn't harm you until we've done sufficient studies that are typically double-blind, placebo-controlled studies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's again why I put the disclaimer on there. This is all kind of hearsay, if you will, but I'm just giving you the information I have.
Yeah.
Doing the research that I'm asked to do so often and enjoy doing.
Yeah.
Because patients are always asking about the latest and greatest.
Yeah. So maybe next time when we meet again, we get an update on the MK 33.
MK677 and
Yeah.
TB500. Yeah, I'll
Because
do
you
a
seem to
deeper
really like
dive.
that one. All right. Thank you so much for talking to us.
No,
tonight.
my pleasure. Please.